Chapter 7, Professor Clark's Lesson. Alright, let's get up bright and early for this. Oh no, I think we overslept. It's so bright out. What time is it? What's that sound? This is your wake-up call!
Cadence! It is precisely 12:05 p.m., and our conducting lesson was supposed to start at noon. You are late!
Dear God.
Cadence!
He's not going away, is he? I mean, you promised. You made arrangements. You are, in fact, late. This is all your fault. If you didn't want to get up and do this lesson, you shouldn't have agreed to it. I sluggishly forced myself out of bed, plod over to the door, and open it. Clark recoils at the sight of me. Rude. None of the other guys did that. Oh, come on. Like, you don't look this bad when you wake up in the morning. Oh, excuse me.
I look flawless when I wake up in the morning. What are you still doing in your pajamas? Were you sleeping?
Bingo.
You can't be serious.
I guess it can't be helped. Put on something presentable and meet me at the band room in half an hour.
I stare at him, wondering how many coffees he had to down to attain this level of energy.
You know, if this was college, this would be unacceptable. They'd flunk you for the day.
Sorry, Professor Clark. It won't happen again. I closed the door, cutting off whatever he was going to say next. I guess I'd better hurry up and get dressed. Wouldn't want the professor to flunk me. I mean, depends what you mean by flunk me, you know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. Ugh, my bedhead looks like some kind of alien creature. I tame the beast by throwing it into its usual ponytail, slap my hat on my head, and go on my way. As you do. Clark!
You made it. And here I thought you were going to forget about me again.
Oof, abandonment issues much? You must think I have the memory of a goldfish. You should believe in your students more, Professor.
Enough snark. Let's get started. Show me your basic technique.
I put my arms into position and start conducting, feeling a little awkward performing for only one person.
Stop!
Oh, great. Why did I subject myself to this again?
Hold your position. I want to make a few adjustments.
Is my form really that bad?
I'm afraid so. Here.
Ah, we're getting this CG now. Nice. I stay completely still as he moves about, making little changes to my posture. His touch is soft. His hands brush my elbow, and I feel my skin tingle. He's so close.
Your plane of conducting higher and minimize your rebound so your focal points will be clear. That way, everyone on the field will be able to follow you easier, and you won't look so much like a duck trying to lift off.
Nice. Oh, so that's what I look like to you. A duck.
Fine. That was cruel of me. You're a majestic duck. Is that better?
I don't know. Marginally.
One last thing. Your stance is too narrow. Spread your legs a little more.
Man, this is getting real suggestive real quick. That's what she said! Just raise a single eyebrow. That's all that's required in this situation. I just stare at him for a long moment.
If you stand with your feet at shoulder width apart, you'll be more rooted to the ground and will have a more commanding presence. Perhaps your show of confidence will inspire our bandmates and score favor with the judges. What's wrong?
I was just wondering why Mr. Wiley picked me instead of you. You really know your stuff.
I often wonder the same thing.
Well, you do have a more overall pleasant personality, Cadence.
Let's continue. Now I know I just told you to keep a higher plane of conducting, but it's alright if you conduct lower during the long hours of rehearsal in order to save energy. I won't hold it against you.
Thank God for that.
But no slacking off when it comes time to perform in a competition.
We spend the next hour on the lesson. Clark works with me to really make sure I have the technique down. I'm glad we were able to come together like this, despite being past rivals. In the end, we really are on the same team.
What was that just now?
What was what?
It sounded like a dying whale giving its final breath. Was that your stomach?
Oh my goodness, this guy's so articulate with the insults. First a duck, now a whale. You really know how to flatter a woman. Such a way with words. Oh, yep, that's my stomach. I skipped breakfast so I wouldn't make you wait.
I didn't tell you to...
Huh?
That's not good. You need to get something to eat. Let's go grab breakfast.
Shouldn't that be lunch? Me and Cadence are like, isn't it lunchtime? It's more like lunchtime now, but sure. I'm starved. Well, we do like a boy that makes sure his girl's fed, so appreciate it. When we get to the dining commons, most of the band is already there eating lunch. Clark and I hop in line and fill our trays with food, then we head to find a seat. Would you like to sit with me and my friends again?
Sure, why not? I enjoy a lively conversation.
Do you? I hesitate, spotting who is sitting at our usual table from afar. I spy Susie, Peter, Felicity, and Samuel. Are you sure? You and Peter don't exactly seem to get along.
Can you blame me? He dated my sister.
He dated your sister? Good God. The more I learn, the more I'm astounded. Huh. I guess this is my bomb moment for this route. Peter dated Clark's sister, and that's why they don't get along very well. One of the reasons. Sheesh. Okie doke. He what?
Yes. I came home from my clarinet lesson one night, and there he was on my couch, with my cat in his lap, eating my food. But I digress. I don't let anything that buffoon says get to me.
He heads bravely for the table. I tag along behind, strangely glad to have his company, but at the same time, dreading what might happen.
Oh, look who's here. Sorry, Clark, but your crush won't be sitting with us today. My crush? What?
Oh yeah, Tom.
Tom's on a video game binge in his room.
Excuse me?
Tom is not my crush!
Awkward. Could have fooled me. That was super awkward when you bit on him last night, not gonna lie. He did it to help the band.
Everything I do is to help the band!
Hey! Guess what this week is, everyone? I let out a sigh of relief. Leave it to Susie to flawlessly change the subject. What? Spirit Week!
Really?
Oh. Did you forget, Samuel?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What's Monday again? Beach Day! I brought my cutest swimsuit! Are you looking forward to it, Peter?
You know it.
You two are so cute.
Clark.
What about you, Clark?
Excuse me.
You're going to wear your swimsuit, right?
No.
Why would I? Spirit Week is nothing but a distraction from what's important. Focusing on learning the show. Amazing. You spout the same thing so often, I sometimes wonder if you're not a robot.
We continue to eat our lunch, but Clark and Peter are constantly at each other's throats. I stuff my face as quickly as possible, eager to get out of here, but then...
Hey.
What are you all doing after this? Do you want to play a game?
Woohoo!
Heck yes! What game?
I
I was thinking Paranoia.
What's that?
It's a game where everyone sits in a circle and one person starts it off by whispering a question into another person's ear. It should be a who question, like, who do you think is the cutest person in the circle? The person answers the question by handing a coin to who they think is the cutest, but nobody knows what the question they're answering is. Oh, I've never heard of this game. Oh, I've played this. It's a great way to get to know your friends. So to find out the answer to the question, the person flips the coin.
I already like this game.
If it's heads, the question is revealed. If it's tails, the game continues and nobody gets to know what the question was. That's why it's called Paranoia.
Sounds dastardly. I'm in. Be warned, though, these games always tend to take a turn towards the risque.
What?
Maybe we should keep it clean since we're at band camp.
Oh.
You're no fun, Cadence.
Samuel's like, I don't know about this, guys. Come on, Sam. The social interaction will do you some good. Alright.
Clark.
Yay! What about you, Clark? Are you in or are you out?
I'm in. I mean, he's competitive. He's gonna want to win the game.
I exchange a look of suspicion with Susie. Clark wants to hang out with us? Socially? Better check outside and make sure there are no flying pigs in the sky. That makes 6 of us. Let's go somewhere a little more comfortable.
Hey.
I'll catch up with you in a minute. There's something I need to check on.
And we never saw Samuel again. Here we are. Perfect. Everyone sit in a circle. Felicity plops herself down between Peter and Clark, the latter of which scoots away as she's a little too close to him for comfort. I decide to be a good citizen and squeeze in the space between them. Nice. As we're getting settled, Tom comes wandering in looking curious.
Hiya.
Hey, Samuel came by and said I'm supposed to sub in for him in some kind of game.
Samuel! One of the smart cookies like, I'll be back real quick. Yo, Tom, can you sub in for me?
I can't even.
Sammy, that slippery fish. Ugh, I can't even with him. He never wants to hang out ever.
That's Sam for you. Take a seat, Tom.
He passes the space next to him. Tom takes a seat as Felicity hurriedly explains the rules of the game once more. Everyone ready? I'll start. She cups her hand over her mouth and leans towards Peter, whispering into his ear. There's some flirting and giggling. It takes a full minute for her to finally ask her question, and that's when I left. In the corner of my eye, I see Clark check the time on his phone.
I got this.
That's an easy one.
Peter thrusts a coin into Clark's hands.
I'm certain I'm not about to be flattered.
He flips the coin and it lands on heads.
So heads means we get to hear what the question was?
Yep.
The question was, who do you think would be most likely to kill you?
Oh, I thought you said who would be most likely to kill who. But my answer remains the same. In that case, Clark would be most likely to kill Cadence so he could be the drum major.
Thanks. That better not be a bad ending. I swear if you're if you're giving hints towards bad endings, Peter, I'm not a fan. Ugh. I cringe inwardly, staring hard at my clenched fists. Clark doesn't comment or even look in my direction, and the coin is passed to Tom. Peter whispers something in his ear. Tom laughs and hands the coin right back.
Really?
Tom flips the coin and it lands on tails, but both boys ignore it.
You really think Mr. Wiley would kick out the most talented trumpet player this band has ever seen?
Hey!
If I could have given the coin to myself, I would've, but...
The coin landed on tails! We're not supposed to know what the question is!
Calm down, we were only settling the debate.
Ask me a question, Tom! He grins slyly and whispers something in her ear. She recoils instantly.
What?
Ew! Can't you ask me a different question?
Nope, you have to choose.
She looks all around the circle despairingly. Sorry, Felicity. I hope I get heads. I hope you get tails. She flips the coin. Tails! Phew! Come on, tell me what it was.
We're not supposed to know what the question was if it landed on tails, Felicity.
My turn to think of the question. Susie ponders for a moment, staring at Clark. He shifts uncomfortably, looking like he'd rather be anywhere but here. Okay, here's one. I watch Clark for his reaction as Susie whispers her question to him. His eyes shift towards me, then he holds out the coin for me to flip. Anticipation squirms in my stomach as I flip it into the air, praying that it lands on heads.
Seriously?
Aw, we don't know what he picked. Tails again! This is the worst game ever.
It was probably who he wants to kill. I bet it was who he wants to date. It wasn't either of those.
It was wholesome, that's all I'll say. Go ahead, Clark. He hesitates for a moment. I lean towards him, eager to hear his question. His breath tickles my ear as he whispers into it.
If you could switch places with anyone for a day, who would it be?
Switch places with someone for a day. He presses the cool coin into my palm. I weigh the question in my head. Who would I switch places with? I don't want to switch places with Felicity for sure. I don't know if much would change if I switched places with Tom, honestly. It's the idea, like, if we switch places with Clark, it's like, well, he gets to be band major, you know, for a day. So we're being nice to him? Is that what we're implying? The other ones don't really make sense to me. I'm gonna go Clark and see what happens. I give the coin to Clark. He arches an eyebrow and flips it. It lands on heads.
So you'd want to switch places with me for the day. May I ask why?
Ooh, actually, this was my thinking, was you have a chance to be drum major, but I like the top one much better, which is I'd like to see what kind of leader you'd be. Yeah, actually, that sounds like way, way better. I miss being on the field. Plus, I could see what kind of leader you'd make as drum major. Maybe I could learn from you. My answer seems to have caught him off guard.
Really?
You'd really subject us to that kind of suffering, Cadence. You'd definitely get kicked out of band if he was in charge, Peter.
We move on to the next round. It's my turn to ask Felicity a question. Who would die first in a zombie apocalypse? Who would you want to be stranded on an island with? Who would you make out with? I hate all these questions. Oh. Is it bad that I want to stir up the pot a bit? I feel like myself from Peter's root is coming back a bit with the who would you make out with question. Because what if she didn't pick Peter? And what if it landed on heads? Man. I could see her picking Clark, and that could be a whole other mess. Could end the game preemptively. Heck it, I'm gonna go for it. I need to know. This is probably just like a fun game thing. It probably doesn't actually add up to many points in the end. I need to know. For science! Oh, you assume a lot. You assume a lot, Cadence. Oops, I guess that one's too easy, considering her boyfriend is sitting right next to her. Haha, right? However, to my great surprise, insert shocked Pikachu face, she reaches across me and tosses the coin into Clark's lap. Cadence? Really? I like to mix it up. I hold my breath as Clark flips the coin, wondering what his and Peter's reaction will be. Felicity is taking a big gamble. Luckily for her, it lands on tails. Darn it, this coin sucks.
Aww.
Guess you'll never know. Except for you, Cadence. She winks at me. I force a laugh to mask my irritation. Oh, why are you irritated, Cadence? What's it to you who Felicity wants to smooch, The game continues for a little while longer. At the first threat of it veering into risque territory, Clark announces he's done. I decide that I am too. And since a group of 4 isn't as fun as 6, the rest call it quits as well. I'm gonna go see what Eugene's up to.
I've got to get back to gaming. Wanna join, Peter?
Actually, he's going to have dinner with me. Let's go, Peter.
Right behind you. What are you going to do?
Huh? Me?
No, I was talking to the wall.
Oh, okay. I won't interrupt then. I turn to leave, but Clark grabs my shoulder.
Alright, I'm sorry. My goodness. Get back here! I was talking to you.
I grin toothily. I know. I was thinking I'd get something to eat. Want to come with?
Well,
Sure, if you're not sick of me yet.
Never. Let's go. The air is nice and cool. It's a lovely evening to have dinner outside.
disgusting!
Well,
The food they serve here is disgusting. I'm not sure how much longer I can stand it.
he prods his meatloaf with a fork and watches it jiggle like it has a mind of its own. Don't worry. Only one more week of this, then we get to eat school cafeteria food.
I'll be packing my lunch, thanks.
We partake in our meatloaf with a shared shudder. I attempt to drown mine in ketchup to mask the strange taste, but my efforts are for naught. So what was the question Susie asked you in the first round of our game?
Isn't the point of the game to suffer through paranoia? Telling you would defeat the purpose.
You're right. Sorry.
I'm joking. I don't care about the rules of that silly game. If you want to know, I'll tell you.
Really? He lowers his eyes.
She asked me who makes me laugh the most.
Oh, my heart. That is very wholesome. I stare at a loss for words. That's not at all what I was expecting. Slowly, a warm feeling spreads through me and I smile. I make you laugh?
No.
But you just said...
Don't get too full of yourself. It's not as if you were up against fierce competition.
Tom is funny? He's one of the funniest people in the band.
Goofing off and running his mouth during rehearsal. Of course, he's the height of comedy.
His voice drips with pure sarcasm, and I laugh. You're pretty funny too, Clark.
You think so? That's not something I'm told very often.
I do think so. Though you're often at your funniest when you don't even mean to be.
So that's why no one takes me seriously.
We spend the rest of dinner making light conversation. As we do, the sun sinks lower and lower in the sky. Clark is so easy to talk to, surprising as it is. I can talk to him for an hour straight and it only feels like 5 minutes has passed. Eventually, we find ourselves too weary to continue. It's time to retire to our rooms for the night.
Get some rest.
Band camp isn't over yet.
Right. And don't forget it's beach day tomorrow.
Night.
Night! That was a quick day. The second week of band camp looms, but I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, second week of band camp gets spicy. I may not have had a chance to recover at home, but the thought of improving the show while wearing silly outfits puts a spring in my step. One more night and it'll be here. Let's do this.